All right, free radicals of all shapes, sizes, colors, denominations, orientations, educations, and yes, even party affiliations. Welcome back to the Radical Independent. I'm Dave. Hope you're having a good holiday. I had one of the best ever because I got to see my son, who I haven't seen in quite some time, come visit me in Florida. So it was a glorious Christmas for me. Hopefully you had a good holiday, whatever it is you celebrate. Tulsi Gabbard, impeaching Trump can cause lasting damage to America. It's almost like the liberals, I'm just going to call them liberals because that's what they are. They're not progressives. They're not conservatives. Liberals, people are asking me over on Twitter, what's the difference between a liberal and a progressive? And I do like progressives better than liberals, so long as they're not neo-progressives. And you dig deeper and you find out that they're more into AOC because she's a cool, hip celebrity. And they can't seem to grasp that her ideas are basically recycled Bernie ideas, and then in some cases they're just non-actionable plans. If you believe with all your heart that we should have a Green New Deal, then write a bill. Don't just write a bunch of things on a chalkboard. It's like the Paris Accords. It's just a non-binding agreement. I know the Paris Accords basically had some of the big countries doing stuff, but Trump got out of it, and one of the reasons he got out of it is because America, I believe, is shouldering all of that burden, and the third world and other places around the world, developing countries like China and India, not so much. And if you're going to even try to do this climate change thing, the world has to be on board. That's why when Tulsi Gabbard says we need cooperation between countries and we need a smaller military-industrial complex. And some people think we need to pare it down like 75%. I know some in the Green Party believe it should be eliminated altogether. I wouldn't go to that extreme because we do need a military just in case there's a real conflict that we didn't cause that we have to defend ourselves from. But other than that, you could certainly probably cut the military budget in half easily. And if you did that, you could solve a lot of domestic issues. So anyway, the Hawaiian legislator told ABC News on Saturday that the idea of Trump winning a second term with a Republican-controlled House of Representatives is a serious concern. Now, do you get the feeling that Tulsi Gabbard, as time goes on, no matter what happens to her campaign, she's going to be proven right over and over again? And after the fact, when it doesn't count, the media will come over and do mea culpas and basically say, oh, Tulsi Gabbard, wow, she was smart. How come she didn't do better in the primary? She should have been number one. She should have won. Ha! It's going to be hilarious. And Tulsi can say, because it's you guys. This is a blackout. It's at least a throttling, and this happens, because of algorithms. It happens because of the way stories are reported. Tulsi's on the ground. Her hope is she's going to outperform what they say because she's just going to work hard and get people convinced that they'll vote for her. Now, the problem is they want to vote for a winner as a mentality. You see this all the time when, say, say Bernie Sanders wins both Iowa and then goes to New Hampshire and wins. There's going to be some momentum for Bernie at that point. Okay? That's if it happens. And it's going to be a little harder for people in the mainstream to kind of write him off. And then they're going to be writing stories like, wow, we didn't see this coming, which is bogus because they have internal polling that probably has both Sanders and Tulsi Gabbard doing well. Again, my position on Bernie is he's starting to become a neoliberal a little bit. I mean, that DNC Unity ad really I know it's political strategy, but I just didn't agree with it. I mean, in the ad I saw Joe Biden's picture was superimposed above Bernie's head. So they're like, here's Biden on top, Hearsay. I would have never agreed to that. It just looked like, maybe they'll let Bernie be VP. Biden and Sanders. Now that would be, and Bernie would accept that role. I guarantee you he would accept it. That's a crazy duo. And they say they're friends, blah, blah, blah. One's totally into Wall Street. The other one says he's not. That would be a strange bedfellow. I don't know. It would really hurt just this entire movement if Bernie capitulated and did that. Because, the strategy would be, Biden gets all the neo-libs and Bernie gets all the neo-progs. And they sweep to victory. Both hating Trump at full speed ahead, And that's a reason to vote for them. And Biden will ensure that none of Bernie's ideas make it to the mainstream. He'll ensure that. I'm sure it'll be in the negotiations. Bernie will say, look, we need Medicare for all. And Biden's going to say, sorry. So anyway, that was a tangent here. So you got people like Senator Claire McCaskill, who's got such the moral high ground to go after Tulsi Gabbard. They're still talking about Tulsi Gabbard's vote. And of course, AOC. Oh, you can't vote present. It's too big of a deal. If she had voted straight up no, I'm sure she would have gotten even more backlash. But see, they're going for the, she doesn't have a backbone, which everybody knows is the dumbest thing to go after Tulsi Gabbard on. Because she's got more backbone than anyone else. And they revisit, Gabbard called Clinton Queen of Warmongers. Clinton says she's a third party, spoiler, Russian asset, blah, blah, blah. By the way, you notice all of the Donald Trump ads on this salon page here? Tulsi Gabbard gets her ad revenue or her AdSense account taken down. That's the account that allows you to advertise on Google. Okay, she gets it removed right after her best debate performance. Still no word on any of those lawsuits or things that are out there. I think it's like defamation. I think it's slander and all kinds of stuff mixed in. And if we don't hold people accountable here, it's just going to keep going. It's going to continue. But look, this is a logical question. People are going to take the survey. Is the mainstream media fair? And the answer, whether you're on the progressive left or the conservative right, the answer is no. It's not. So they don't report on war properly. I just watched a documentary on RT, which was just devastating. They went back to the Obama years. They're talking about drone attacks. They're talking about Bolivia. They're talking about Venezuela. They're talking, Mike Pence, and they want Mike Pence to be president. They want to impeach Trump to allow Pence. Trump, right now, you know what Trump is trying to do? Trump is trying to fight one battle while he's appearing to be pulling troops out of Afghanistan or wanting to. Supposedly, right now, there's some negotiations going on with the Taliban, which, by the way, the mainstream media, are they going to jump on Trump for negotiating with the Taliban? Because they jump on Tulsi Gabbard every 10 seconds about Assad, right? There's a huge double standard. See, the media wants to go after Trump for his buffoonery, okay? And I hate to say it, we've had a lot of... George W. Bush, a lot of times, was a deer in the headlights when he was out there trying to talk. Trump isn't a great communicator, but I'll tell you what, he knows what he wants to say, which is different from George W. Bush, who had no clue. He had a word problem. He didn't know what word to use next. Fool me once. We should elect an intelligent, young, optimistic, unifying president, and that would be Tulsi Gabbard. Are we going to do it? Remains to be seen. I'm trying to stay hopeful and optimistic, but again, folks, we have to be realists, and some folks who have been following my channel know at times that I can become a little pessimistic because I see the DNC is too corrupt to overcome. And I've got friends in the Green Party that tell me all the time, Dave, you're a voice of reason. Keep saying this stuff. We've got to get more people on board with the Green Party message. I never thought I'd even be, you're looking at a conservative guy in some areas, former Trump supporter. Now I'm thinking about the Green Party. It's because we've completely lost our minds when it comes to issues, and I'm more concerned about things like free speech, the surveillance state. I mean, you can go down the list of things, and the Libertarian Party, they've got a good platform in some areas. They've got no solution to poverty, though, other than, no, the free market will pull everybody out. And charity and churches. Yeah, churches aren't doing anything. I know. But trust me, the churches are doing some things to make themselves feel good, but they're not all in the trenches trying to solve this problem, because if they were, you know how many churches there are? There's thousands of churches. There would be no homeless. There would be homes being built for the homeless. There'd be shelters for the homeless. So unless you make it a priority as a citizen, you say, hey, I want this to stop, it's just going to keep going on. And of course, we're going to blow up the military budget. We're going to make it bigger and bigger, but we're going to do zero to help people who truly need it. We're not going to help people who, I guess the stat I saw this morning, 71% of Americans cannot afford to purchase a home. 71%. All right, so that should make people feel as if, things aren't going so well. If you believe in the middle class and you believe that we should be upwardly mobile, you believe in prosperity, for instance, say you're on the right and you believe in prosperity. That prosperity it's not being shared. And I know people on the right, and I used to be one of them, that hate phrases like pay your fair share, the economy is rigged for the 1% and so forth. All of those things are true. I've totally come over to that side, and it doesn't mean I'm a socialist or a communist or a left-winger. It just means that I see that particular issue in that light. And by the way, progressives, and I got a little critiqued that I have kind of, gone after a couple of people with their YouTube platforms and so forth. But when they're on my timeline and they're saying dumb things, it's just, I'm not going to sit there and not respond to it. Aloha is one thing, but Aloha doesn't take any crap. All right? Aloha calls things out, and I'm always going to call it the way I see it. You might not agree with me, but I'm not going to do unity for unity's sake. So all you Bernie fans out there, you really got to hold your candidate accountable. If he gets somewhere, you got to say, hey, Bernie, you got here because you're not the establishment. Don't start cozying up, although again, you can go down a list of probably 10 things that he's cozied up to the establishment on, and you just wonder, is this guy really going to fight for me? Or is he going to get sort of absorbed by basically the deep state, we'll call it for now, because that's what it is, and you got to be tough and you got to want to fight it. And Tulsi Gabbard is that candidate, and that's why I continue to talk about Tulsi. So again, thanks for watching. I hope you're having a good holiday season here. And don't forget, if you're in the spirit of giving, you can do one-time PayPal donations. I was heavily demonetized last week on this channel, and the number of views dropped dramatically, probably because I was getting discouraged. I also do content over on Rockfin now and then. But if you'd like to do a one-time PayPal donation, I will include my email address for PayPal in the description of this video. Again, thanks for watching, and if you're a Tulsi fan, keep the faith. I think we've got a movement here. Hopefully it's never going to go away, and we're going to change things. We're going to make sure that this duopoly doesn't get to continue as is. But we've all got to work together, and we've all got to, not just settle. Settling is going to lead to more of what we've had. All right, see you soon.